Alright, so that completes this year of World War II movies as far as I know. So let's see how it went. Allied, directed by Robert Zemeckis, starring Brad Pitt, Marion Cotillard, and Jared Harris. I really wanted to like this movie, but I didn't. And it's not just because I don't understand the concept of love, but that is most of it, I guess. So Allied, or Allied, as I'm probably going to unintentionally keep saying over and over again, is the story of a Canadian, Brad Pitt, who met a French resistance fighter in Morocco and then took her to London and married her. But then it turns out that she may or may not be a German spy. She is a German spy. And so he starts investigating her to try to find out the truth. That's a plot synopsis that I could have given you just by watching the trailer, and it gave it away like too much. Trailers, I don't think, should really have any footage from the second half of the movie. I really don't think I should have known she was a German spy going into it. Because when I sat there and was watching it, almost everything Marion Cotillard did was suspicious. She couldn't operate a Sten gun properly. And it was like, oh, is it because she's a German? Probably, yeah. They kept trying to throw little obstacles to throw you off, like, oh no, she's fine. This is definitely who she says she is, or is it? And it's like, it isn't. The outcome of the movie was very obvious, and any attempt to obscure it, I don't know. It might work on people, but it doesn't. It didn't for me. I was really hoping that by the end of it, it would have been like a misunderstanding or something, but it just wasn't, and there was no real danger that she was actually like an innocent person. Not to mention it was pretty boring through a lot of it. Like, I don't need it to be a ton of battle scenes. It doesn't have to be Hacksaw Ridge. But it's like I like Inglorious Bastards not for the vicious shoot 'em up at the end, but because of the individual scenes and all the snappy dialogue in between it. There was just not a whole lot of that. Brad Pitt wasn't even all that really animated. Marion Cotillard was great. She was fantastic, but Brad Pitt didn't put all that much into it, and everyone else was just a stone-faced soldier. So there wasn't a whole lot of charisma to it. And Robert Zemeckis is a good director. I know this for a fact because everyone fucking loves Forrest Gump and Back to the Future. But that it doesn't necessarily seal the deal for me because I am definitely Forrest Gump's high up there, Castaway's high up there, but like Back to the Future I think is pretty overrated. And as for their relationship, I didn't buy it because for one, they're both professional spies, which should just have tons of paranoia around it as it is. And you don't have to be, a necessarily modern person to know that there's already paranoia in the early parts of relationships. And for two, they knew each other for like a week. And then he asked her, after she had already kind of foreshadowed that her feelings weren't real, he tried to move her to London. But I guess her feelings were real the whole time. And that she was pressured into being a German spy. And I don't know, it was just so non-committed. Because if she was being pressured to turn to spy for Germany, then she could just say, well, I'm in England, so you're outnumbered. I can just go to my husband, who is pretty high up in the intelligence community, and be like, listen, these Germans are trying to recruit me. But I mean, obviously, you'd have to admit that you were a German spy, but, well, that was kind of your fault. You shouldn't have gone to London. It was probably a well-constructed movie. I'm not qualified to actually tell you if it was good or bad, but I can tell you that I didn't really like it, personally. And now I would like to take the next few minutes to kind of go over Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Because I did see that movie, but I want to go again with Matt, and he's agreed to make a video with me, so I might end up doing that next week when he gets some time. So I just want to real quick touch on Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, starring Eddie Redmayne and Dan Fogler and Colin Farrell. I actually really like this movie. I don't want to use up all the stuff that I want to say to Matt, but I just want to point out that I really like this movie, probably more than Doctor Strange, but definitely more than like any of the other Harry Potter movies. Which I mean, trust me, I was a big fan of Harry Potter. I read the shit out of those books. But I liked how these were adult characters and very weird looking adults. I really appreciate that Hollywood didn't try to force me to relate to more classically attractive people. But yeah, I didn't have to. As much as I like Harry Potter and especially Daniel Radcliffe, I wasn't appreciating having to watch them be 14 because I didn't like being 14. I don't want memories of that. So it was a nice, fun romp through New York with, but for more, and not necessarily for more an adult crowd, but it's easier to relate to for me as an adult who was very ashamed of his childhood. Anyway, this is going to be a pretty short one, so I'm going to fuck off now. I'm gonna play Pokemon for the rest of the day.